Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back and thanks so much for joining us today. I love cruising. In fact, I took my first cruise during my senior year in high school, and I'm going to date myself. That was over 40 years ago. I can't believe it. Where'd the time go? And I've been cruising ever since. We have been on over 20, 30 cruises. I've stopped counting on different cruise lines. Now that I'm older and retired, Kevin and I have been traveling the world by land and sea. But we have found that cruising is great. So, are you dreaming of post retirement travel, but worried about the costs and hassle? Forget expensive hotels and complicated logistics. Cruising offers perks that make retirement travel for seniors one of the easiest ways to see the world. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why cruising tops land travel for retirees. We made the bold leap into early retirement, and our channel is all about inspiring you to embrace your golden years while uncovering smart, affordable ways to see the world. Now, I am currently on a cruise in the middle of the Pacific during the winter time, and this ship is full of retirees. I would say the average age is 60s, 70s, some 80s, 90s. So it got me to thinking about why cruising is great for seniors. First of all, number one is budgeting made simple. They have an all inclusive price that includes your food, your lodging, your transportation between places. Also, when you compare it when you're on land and you have the restaurants, I mean, the price could fluctuate based on the restaurant you go to and things like that. So it makes budgeting a whole lot more simpler. Onboard activities and entertainment are included. Kevin and I love to listen to live music and sometimes trying to find places like that on land when then you've got to get an Uber and get there and all that. But all that stuff is included. I basically walk outside my cabin and voila, there's my entertainment right there. And then I can just walk back up to my cabin or push the elevator and get back up. So really, really nice. It's affordable. They have senior discounts. They also have loyal guest promotions or email lists that you can get on that can make cruising surprisingly affordable. Also, you can find great deals during the low season, like when I'm traveling now, when there are less people traveling and school is in session. And for retirees, we're available. We're not working full time, so we can go during these periods, and we have the time to go as well. So, as far as affordability is concerned, if you go on longer cruises too, which retirees can do because we have the time, it's usually cheaper cost per day. So, that's also a nice perk as well. But the caveat here is you need to be disciplined because cruise lines are masters of the upsell. And so you have to make sure you're disciplined and also do your research to find ways to save on cruise booking prices and also cruise port activities because excursions and things can really up the cost of your cruise. So it takes a lot of research. I do a ton of it. I do a lot of do-it-yourself DIY on ports. So if you want to check out some of my port videos, you can do that. And there are also many, many other YouTubers who've got that information out there. So if you want to save that way, just got to sometimes make sure you have in great shape because we do a lot of walking and things like that. Or you can take taxis and things like that. But you can definitely put something together on your own to save money. But it definitely makes budgeting a whole lot easier when you're cruising versus on land. Number two is convenience and accessibility. Two of the biggest things when we're traveling, Kevin and I, is transportation costs and accommodations. And accommodations can be a real bear when you're planning because you're trying to figure out where you're going to stay. I have to research the neighborhoods, first of all, to make sure it's safe. And then I read through a million reviews to see what's nearby. And we try to limit how much we have to use transportation. We try to do a lot of public transportation. I want to get somewhere that's walkable. You don't have to do anything on the cruise ship. Once you get there, you're done. There's no constant packing and unpacking as you move from city to city. Your hotel room literally travels with you. Step on board, unpack once, and boom, you're done. Your suitcase goes into hibernation while your floating hotel takes you to the next place while you're sleeping. Also, it makes it easier on couples or partners or travel companions. especially if one of you is an introvert and the other one's an extrovert. I'm an introvert, so I like to be by myself a lot. So I'm holed up here in my cabin now, and Kevin's out and about mingling. And so it lets you do that. I mean, there are quiet places on the ship I can do that. And then when I want to interact with people, I can. He can be out and about. He's hanging out with some of the veterans on the ship, and he can mingle with them, the old salty guys, and talk, stuff that they talk about. So that's kind of cool for both of us. You don't have to worry about where you're going to eat, because it's a big, huge thing about where you're going to eat. We take turns picking in restaurants and things like that. I mean, you have to eat what's here on the ship. You just pick one of the items. So it definitely limits your choices, which is actually probably a good thing. So where you're going to eat at, all that's solved when you're on a ship. Then, as far as accessibility, it's very accessible. You have elevators, you have ramps, you have the ships are wheelchair friendly. You have staff that will help you with mobility challenges. Even we just got this last port in Hawaii. They had the different shuttle buses that were coming up with people and picking people up that had mobility issues. So I thought that was great. A lot of the tours have that built in as well. There are also medical facilities. As we're getting older, there's trained staff that can help you with any type of health needs that you have. I have a CPAP machine, and I used to, before I got the travel CPAP, have to have distilled water. I mean, I went down to the medical center. You arrange all that ahead of time. On some of the ships I was on, they had it there for you, but if you really need medical facilities, at least they're there if you need it. So that's nice. And it's a peace of mind when you're on the high seas that would be a little bit difficult to duplicate with being on land. So that makes cruising great for people who have medical issues because there is staff here, right here on site. Okay, the next area, number 3, is social seas, building connections and staying fit. One nice thing about ships, and I am a planner, so I usually plan all the activities for us. So what's nice about the ship is I don't have to do as much of that. I just plan what we're going to do in the different ports. But they organize social activities for you. I mean, basically, I just pick up like here we're on the Princess, and they have like tons of activities for you to do. I don't have to think about any of it. So I just decide what I want to do and go do that. Also, they have, when you go to the dining rooms, of course, that you can share tables with other people. So you get to meet people across the country and throughout the world. So it's really nice. And you forge friendships with other people. So it's great. Also, there are diverse communities on board. So you can click in with a different group or whatever people's interests are. You can do that. You can learn a new hobby, learn. They have seminars. I mean, last cruise on Royal Caribbean, I learned how to play pickleball. I haven't yet got up there and tried it here on this ship. I do see them up there playing. I may be brave and try it, but you can learn new things. They also have group excursions that provide a safe and shared experience for exploring different cultures. So you can do it with a group of people, so you're not on your own, especially if you're a solo traveler. That's a great way to meet people too. Physical fitness is easier because you have a gym, and a lot of the cruise lines now have walking tracks on the cruises. They also have classes. Some of them are paid, but then some are free. And they also have dance lessons. So different ways for you to get up and move. So I think that's fantastic on ships as well, especially for retirees. We can stay fit so that we can do this life a lot longer and stay young as long as we can. Okay, number 4, simplified world travel. You can visit multiple countries without managing complex logistics between places such as transportation. Transportation is another huge area for us to have to plan. And so you don't have to have long discussions with your significant other about logistics and planning. There are no trains schedules, no worry about GPS, and if you're going to have internet and, and be able to still find where you're going. There's no dragging bags through cobblestone streets like there are obstacle courses. It just erases many of those common travel headaches, letting you simply relax and soak it all in. Another thing is the itineraries. These are experts. They put together itineraries. They've done all the planning, so it reduces stress and they take you from place to place. Also, it's nice about cruising is you discover new places that you would have never went to. We went on a cruise almost 2 years ago, and we went to Alicante. Loved it. So we went back this past fall and stayed there for several days. I would have never went to Alicante, Spain, and absolutely fell in love with the city. And so introduced you to new places. I've been to Tunisia. Would have never done that, but I did it on a cruise. And so it's really nice that you get that opportunity to see more of the world and places you wouldn't have put on your list anyway. Also, because the ship becomes your home base, you have a consistent environment and amenities across the destination as you move from place to place. You kind of come back, this is like your home, and everything's settled. You don't have to worry about resetting up everything like we normally do. We're getting to be pretty expert at it, but we don't have to do that. We're in here, we're done. And so it's nice that you have your home base. The ship becomes your home base. Okay, so the last thing, number 5, is the true retirement advantage. I feel like cruising gives you more time to just rest and relax compared to demanding land itineraries. So it's a little bit of both. To me, I feel like I have more balance when I'm cruising because I do have time to do those ports and explore, but I also have time just to come back and relax. I was talking with another couple the other day, and they were saying it's just really nice when you can have like a port sea day. So those are really nice too. But I just feel like it's more relaxing compared to when we're in a land destination. We feel like we've got to try to see everything, and I don't feel that as much when I'm on a cruise, especially the place I know I'm going to go back to. I just do a couple things, get back on. So I'll go back. Next time I come back, I'll try that again. Also, you have the opportunities for extended voyages. So it's ideal for slow travel in retirement. Because like in this case, this ship that we're on, we're doing a 16-day, and we're going to stay on the ship and then go to the next destination, which will be Mexico. So we're going to be on this boat almost a whole month. So you do have that chance for extended voyages and or just to do longer cruises. So that's really nice. Another thing too that's really nice with cruising is I love when they have it's not a round trip. So if you start just say in Singapore and you end up in Miami, just for instance. I mean, you can see another place. You can get off there, spend time in that particular place, and fly back to another area, or ship hopping, leave that ship and go on another cruise. So those are really nice. So you get to see more of the world that way too. So it gives you a lot of opportunity and flexibility when you're doing the different cruises. Okay, and the last point I want to bring up under retirement advantage is just security. As we're getting older, it's just nice. I feel safe on the ship. I've been up, sometimes I get up really early. If I'm up at 4 a.m., I may go down to International Cafe, maybe some people there, whatever. But I've, been up early and I haven't felt like I was not safe. So I feel like there's a sense of security beyond the ship. Also, I just feel like if you get off on a port or whatever, you have to do your little medallion or your thing to let them know you left. So at least people know your last known location if you do not return to the ship for whatever reason. So there is a starting point. And I feel that sense of security as well. Also, there's a great sense of community that I think is missing sometimes from land trips, because unless you stay in a place for a couple weeks on land, it's a little bit more difficult to make friends and make those connections. So a lot of times it's just Kevin and I by ourselves, but here we've made several friends and met people here on the ship. So it's really nice. I think it's a whole lot easier, I think, on a cruise ship. Bonus perk. Finally, I want to add this bonus perk. You're on a ship full of a lot of passionate travelers who get it. You may have friends and family members who don't understand your passion for travel and why you would spend money to do it. You may even get people who feel like you're bragging. It's so wonderful to spend time with like-minded people who could talk for hours about travel tips, money-saving hacks, and places you should definitely see. You're just simply sharing a passion that fuels you, inspires you, makes you appreciate this big, beautiful world and the people who live in it. So, in conclusion, cruising is an excellent choice for retirees because you don't have to worry about complicated logistics, managing budgets, or stressing about accessibility. At this stage of our lives, any opportunity to simplify our travel is a plus. So, what are your thoughts? Do you feel that cruising is a great option for retirees? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate your support. Until next time, take care, everyone, and safe travels.